Hello all and welcome back to After the End, Ashes Without Number. This is session 14. I'm RxOliver. These wonderful people are my friends. I'm back with Dave, Max and our games master Brian. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
As you'll see on the screen, people, I've got a different name underneath me, so I'm going to switch characters again tonight for the plot. We'll get into that in a minute. Are we all good to go, guys?
Yeah, Max, are you sticking with Jacob?
Oh yeah, I'm sticking with Jacob for right now.
Okay.
I'm letting King do his bit here, helping out with whatever that needs to be done.
Fair enough. So, welcome back, everybody. Quick recap. Last session, the survivors fended off an attack from what they were referring to as Chuds, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Although Craig fell to one of them, thankfully not suffering a major wound, and he was revived by Jacob and Tim. In the process, the current belief or understanding, I'm not going to say whether or not it's true or not, although I have been having them make physical saves, is that Tim, Craig, and Fallout, the dog, are suffering some kind of an infection from these Chuds. They finished surveying the local area, which if we swap to our map, we can now see the areas that have been surveyed in kind of a light green overlay. And our group finished surveying this hex and discovered a vet clinic in the hex to the northwest, which which is going to be important this session, I believe, because the decision was made to head to the vet clinic because upon return to the auto repair shop, Tim and Craig seem to be doing well, but Fallout's condition has worsened. And the dog is, well, sick as a dog, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
There was some discussion behind the scenes with Craig and Charlemagne, with Craig encouraging Charlemagne to recognize that the two lost survivors, Ruben and Giolan, have been are probably dead. I think mainly he encouraged Charlemagne to believe that because Craig wanted to go back to the music shop. However, now the group decided at the end of the last session to go to the vet clinic and possibly to take a look at the areas where the scavengers were lost. 24 days have passed. It is currently, according to our calendar, the evening of, well, I guess we would have finished on the evening, right? So technically it would be the morning of the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start on the morning of the 27th of February, 5 years after the end. Roughly 14 days of food remains for 10 survivors.
And is this day 24 of our adventure? It is,
24 days have passed, so technically it's day 25 now, yeah.
Okay.
Very good. So who is Charlemagne sending to get Fallout?
Charlemagne is sending himself and yourself, Tim, and Jacob, and
Yes,
who else are our candidates? Can we go to the auto shop map and see everybody, Brian? Is that a possibility?
Sure. Actually, I should just make the auto shop available at all times, so let me do that. Here is the main level. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that's available to everyone at all times.
So I think we're
Show
groups of 3 now,
navigation.
actually, because we've kind of shrunk us a little bit. I think we might just be the 3 of us, boys.
Oh yeah, yeah, because we don't have the dog. Normally he would come with us, but he's sick, and I don't want to danger him anymore.
No, we're going to leave the dog here. And I think, are we going to continue to send 2 other parties out, or we're going to only send 1 party out now so that we can strengthen them up a bit bigger, so the party out is a bit bigger and the party at home is a bit bigger?
I would say one would be good, because they could just keep themselves whatever they need to do.
Us out to check out the vet's clinic. Another group out scavenging for food. and then another group back at home working on the projects and guarding the place, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And Tim and Jacob, you're both willing to come with me?
Oh yeah.
Well, would it be possible to send the scavengers out to another area if they've pretty much cleared this area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Okay.
Charlemagne,
So
Jacob, and Tim are
actually, I
going.
should probably.
Fallout is staying.
So they.
I
Hang on one
think-
second. So they were scouting this hex last time, and they scouted it pretty heavily. Which hex do you want them to be taking a look at now?
Why don't we get them to search this one and then they can maybe look?
Well, you guys haven't surveyed that one yet, so I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest
One of
hexes
the
that you've
greens.
surveyed.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
Well, I'd
This one
suggest the
where
area
Ruben's
around
lost?
the music store. Why
yeah,
not?
the one where
Yes.
Ruben was lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let me. I should have thought of this ahead of time, but
We
I
were gonna
didn't. So
send-
if you'll give me one moment.
And if we send them as one unit, there's more of them working the same area, so they're more likely to find stuff, I would guess.
Depending upon how many of them you want to send, I believe Max was suggesting that perhaps you would have Kang doing some deconstruction and possibly some construction on items.
Yes.
So Kang will be out.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I'd
You
like
need
Kang back here.
you need one person to keep watch if you want to do that.
So I want.
Maybe
And-
Abigail.
I think Sophia and Abigail should stay here with Kang and the dog.
Excellent. But then you also need 2 people to continue working on the greenhouse, unless you're going to suspend work on the greenhouse. Okay, this is going to be really big, but it's fine. We'll fix it.
Well, Craig can stay. Right. So move Rosie over here, Brian, and move Craig over here.
1 second.
Oh, I can move Craig. Sorry.
I'm putting a new push pin on the map to represent your scavenging team.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at the map real quick, which
Yep.
hex did you want the scavenging team to be on?
The one that Ruben was lost in, the music store one.
Okay, all right. So the scavenging team or teams is going to be the blue
The blue pin. Right. Okay.
blue pin. Yep. Let's move that to elevation 2. Excellent. Okay. So you've got one team scavenging there.
Yep. And it's going to be
All right.
Carlos, Francisco, and Rosie.
Okay, Carlos, Francisco, and Rosie. So I'm going to move them outside of the shop to represent that they're scavenging.
Okay.
Kang is doing some work, so that leaves these 3 to swap between watch and working on the greenhouse.
Abigail's going to be our main. I'm going to leave Abigail in charge of security because Abigail, as you know, is a badass. So she's in charge of
Oh, yeah.
security. She can decide who takes a shift and when, and she's in charge. She's going to take charge of Sophia and Craig and the guard duty. Kang is in charge of. Because I'm giving people positions of authority because it makes things feel organised. Kang's in charge of the overall, everybody that's here, but in charge of security is Abigail. And I'm going to tell Sophia. I'm going to say to Sophia that she's in charge of making sure the dog's comfortable, got water, got food, because we don't want him going out hunting his own food anymore. We want him fed. So Sophia, I'm going to leave in charge of caring for Fallout because I'm going to make everybody feel valued here. Craig, I'm going to be like, and you're in charge of. You can write me a song. And he seethes as he walks away. He's like,
Can I ask a quick question? Who have we got who's best at treating Fallout?
so
Oh, you
Charlemagne is wrong character. Charlemagne is actually quite good at it, but I want to go out with him. Charlemagne's got heal at a 2.
If everybody who remains behind effectively has NPC stats, so they're all going to be equally able to take care of Fallout.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. It was a case of we need whoever it is to go with us to the vet's clinic because they're likely to recognise what the various medicines are that. Could
I think
Charlemagne.
that's actually the 3 of you, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Between the 2 healers and the nature specialist, that would be the 3 of you.
Yeah, Charlemagne's got 2 in heal.
Nobody else is going to be better at that than any of you.
I believe he's got a healer. He's got the healer focus as well. He rolls 3 dice when he heals. So Charlemagne's the healer.
Okay, but if we're not taking Fallout with us to the clinic, we're likely to have to bring a load of stuff back because we're not sure what's wrong with Fallout.
Yes.
So in that case, have we got a sled we can take to increase the amount of the load we can bring back?
You guys do still have that sled.
Yeah, we built a sled in episode 1, I believe.
I mean, it was early. I don't know that it was episode 1, but it was early, yeah. But yeah, you still have that. There's no reason why that would have been broken down.
So take that with us.
So I don't think we said at the time, but I am now going to declare that particular sled, just for working within the rules, being drugged by at least 2, being drugged by one of you, it can hold an additional 10 encumbrance units.
Okay. That's
If 2 of you are dragging it, it's up to 15.
Okay.
So yeah, you can drag a decent amount of stuff on it. The only problem is it's going to leave pretty obvious tracks, because it is literally a sled. It's going to be digging into the snow.
Yes, but can I camouflage those?
It's going to make travel longer, but you can.
Given that I have the ghost edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I attempt to hide at them?
Well, I won't even say it's an attempt. I'll just say that you're able to do so. It's just going to take you longer to travel.
Yeah, but at the present moment, we're not suggesting that we scout that hex. That we just
No.
straight
You're just going
in,
straight there. Yeah.
get the stuff and come straight back. So it may take us longer, but it'd be quicker than scout.
So my question is your goal to go grab the stuff, deal maybe with whatever's there, and then come back today, or are you thinking about a possible overnight stay there? I mean, you are looking at it. Technically, it's just 1 hex north of you, being unexplored. That's and being careful in trying to cover your tracks. It's going to take about 2 shifts to get there.
Yeah. Well, if we take 2 shifts to get there, and then have we've got overnight. So while we're staying there, the people on watch can check to see what's available and have it ready for Charlemagne to go through it in the morning.
Sure.
And then come back tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, then you've got about a day of, well, technically 2 days, because you won't be back in the morning. You have 2 days worth of commands to give to your camp followers. So you want one group to go out and scavenge, which we've already established, and then the other groups to keep an eye on things and keep working on the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well,
Okay.
Well, the scavengers are probably going to take 1 shift to get to the scavenging area and then scavenge. Stay overnight, a shift scavenging, and then a shift to go back. So
So given that it's an explored hex and it's adjacent, I'm going to let them get in a full shift of scavenging and just use 1 shift to travel out and travel back.
That's fine.
I'm looking at the equipment just now, just because I was checking Charlemagne's, and we've got enough that everyone that goes out can have a good gun. There's 2 shotguns sitting there, there's 2 rifles sitting there, There's ammunition for all of them. There's modern crossbows. So there's enough armor for everybody, enough sidearms for everybody to have a knife. And in fact, there's there's 2 combat rifles. So they're going to be well armed, any group that goes out. I assume Abigail has one of those combat rifles, actually.
Probably. Or whoever's on watch up on the roof, yeah.
But I'm just looking, when it comes to equipment, we're actually well kitted out. We've got enough equipment for everybody to have a good gun, armour and a sidearm. We're doing well for equipment.
If I will tell you this, if you want to send them out with the rifles and stuff, I don't really have those kinds of negative encounters set up on the scavenging table.
But I just want to feel like you don't have to change anything mechanically.
Okay.
It feels like
I got you.
safer if
I think I've got one encounter where they get into a fight that you guys rolled. So if that encounter comes up, I may have that cost you some ammunition.
And adjust the results accordingly.
But otherwise, yeah, that's fine.
Right. Okay.
You can send them out fully kitted up.
Yeah, and we've got about 2 weeks worth of food, so we're all right for food, and we're all right. Yeah, how are we for scrap? Actually, what's the scrap like? Scrap, we can always use more of. We've got a second place where we're going to think about populating when we get enough people.
Okay, so all I really want to know then is you've got one group that's going out. They'll be back tomorrow, and we'll probably go out again before you get back, I would imagine, to scavenge.
Yep.
So you're going to have 2 scavenging rolls. What is Kang going to be doing? Do you want Kang breaking down equipment, or do you want Kang crafting something new?
Well, there's one day, on the project it says the dog armor's only going to take 1 day, so he could work on that and then that's done in the first day.
True.
And then he can get back to, he can break stuff down, or he could work on the greenhouse. There's only 3 days left on the greenhouse with 2 workers.
The greenhouse has 2 workers, though, so that's going to be fine.
It could start breaking down some of the extra stuff we've got, the leathers and all the extra stuff.
Okay, so when it comes to breaking things down, let's see. Here we go. Building gear.
Tim and Jacob, you both got sleeping bags, just in case we stay.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Should we take the camping kit?
All being
Okay,
well,
items.
Staying in the vets, the vets clinic. So
hopefully,
we shouldn't need it.
But I've got the space to take it. Do you think we maybe should, just in case we have to camp out? It might make life easier.
Up to you, boss.
So I'm looking at my stowed, and I've got 10 space in my stowed. Plus we're taking the sled. I think I should take the camping kit. It takes 2 slots up, but I think I'm going to take it.
Very good.
Okay, so breaking down scrap doesn't require a roll. I'm trying to see how long it takes, though. So, unit of scrap is 1 point of encumbrance. Yeah, PCs can just record, sure. Items can be broken down into scrap equal to their encumbrance.
Actually, I've got an idea for Kang for his second day.
Okay.
I'm looking at a couple of things. I'm looking at mods. We're leaving one of the combat rifles is going to be left there because it's Abigail's. We could have him maybe mod that. Maybe think about putting a bayonet on that. I'm also looking at, we've got a car side mirror. I'm thinking that would make a mod on a gun. Imagine you've got your sight on your gun, but then next to it you've got a mirror, so you can actually check out who's behind you at the same time. Is that a viable mod for a gun? A mirror, a rear view mirror.
I don't know what that would do for you statistically.
I think it would be bad because it would put an off-center weight on the gun.
Yeah, there's also that
right,
potentially.
Yeah, you're right.
So modding things is a more in-depth kind of thing. So anybody with fix can do it. There are different mods listed in the book, and they are based on your fixed skill. So, weapon mods can be things like, well, not all of these in the book are going to be something you can necessarily do, like auto-targeting. No, you don't have that kind of technology, but concealed weapons, customized, which gives you a bonus to hit, extended mags as possible.
Bayonets, I imagine, is possible, right?
I mean, a bayonet, I would allow.
At
That
big
would be a
pile
pretty
extra
simple
knives.
one to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just require fix 1 for that.
Yeah.
But then the scrap requirement varies. So, like, the scrap requirement for a bayonet is probably going to be, I'm going to say, minimum, like, 5 tech level 2, which you've got.
Yeah.
Like
metal, plumbing fixtures, things like that, bolts.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want him to do something like that, you can.
Well, I'm looking at a couple of combat rifles, a few rifles, a couple of shotguns, and there's 6 knives sitting there in our inventory. We could mod a load of guns and have some bayoneted guns. It's a big upgrade, I think. Well worth doing.
Well, each one of those is going to take time. Like, that's essentially a shift of work for Kang to do one minor mod. So you want to have him do the horse armor on one day.
Dog armor.
And then scrapping stuff is going to be... Still not seeing a time thing on the scrap.
I don't think we need to yet, because we've still got quite a pile of scrap. I don't think that's priority. Scrapping.
Okay.
If we didn't have anything else major to do, I think scrapping. But I think if he's got a project, dog armor, and then possibly bayonet and a gun or two, I don't think we need to scrap stuff yet. I'm looking at the scrap list and we're doing all right. We've got 20, 32, 35, and 41. We've got all the.
Well, I could also think is that with some of the melee weapons we have, we could do a savage impact.
Yeah, but again, take a look at how much scrap that requires.
Is that adding things?
Yeah, well, I understand.
Is that adding like blades and spikes and stuff to melee weapons?
It's so kinda, yeah. So imagine putting like nails through a baseball bat. Savage Impact gives you +1 bonus to damage and shock with that weapon.
Yeah.
Which is, pretty beefy. It is important to note that no combination of mods can improve a weapon's hit or damage die bonus by more than +3.
Okay.
A given mod can only be applied once. I don't think there's a limit to the amount of mods you can do in this game, though. Take a look at... Kang has the talent that lets him do that, right?
Yeah, that's your job, Kang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
I'm just looking at the weapon mods and stuff. Yeah, it said King has a scrapsmith, I believe.
Scrapsmith,
that's my
right.
Yeah.
So, scrapsmith...
Building devices from
so things cost half as much scrap. Yeah, and you can
That's
actually declare you have any device, weapon, or object your skills or resources would have allowed you to make. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely the one to do it. We'll let you kind of look at that in the background, Max. But we know that Kang first is going to make the dog armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, he'll plan on using both shifts to make a mod for a weapon. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So dog armor, 2 mods. Okay. So we'll go from there. Any other stuff to figure out before you guys leave? I don't think so.
I'm adding bayonets to the project. What level of how many scrap is that going to take?
So for a bayonet, I'm going to say you're going to have to use the knives.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 additional tech level 2 scrap each.
Right, okay,
So for 6 bayonets, that'd be 30 tech level 2 scrap.
Right, let me see how we're doing. Oh, we've got 30. Happy days.
And you can make. So I'm gonna say you can prep one of those per shift worked. So technically, it's
3 days.
I'm just going to put it in there as 6 shift rather than 1 day.
Would that be 3
or
days?
6 days.
Does he do 2 shifts in a day?
Well, it depends on how many shifts you spend doing it,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So, I'm assuming you want these bayonets to be detachable and attachable. You don't want them just strapped onto the weapon permanently.
If that's a possibility, then yes, absolutely.
Yeah, with that level of scrap and consuming the knives, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, there's 6 knives, we've got more than 6 guns, so we can get 6 bayonets made.
Put that in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sweet.
Well, you would still have to pick which guns, because the gun is going to have an attachment for it as well.
So,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, so we've got...
I
And
would
so the
say-
guns also need to be present for him to work on.
Yeah, so,
So they can't be out with the group.
So I'm taking a combat rifle with me, but I'm going to get him to at least do the combat rifle that's there, so when we come back I can swap mine out. But it looks like we've got 2 combat rifles there, one of them being Abigail's. I guess he could do Abigail's while she's here. There is 2 more rifles, and there's 2 shotguns, I think. So 6 guns. Yeah, 2 rifles, 2
I would
shotguns, and
say-
2 combat rifles.
Well, I would say if you wanted to, is that one of those could be with, I don't know, maybe with Dave's hunting rifle, because he fights with that a
Well,
lot,
there's-
and
there's
so he
also
doesn't
a
have to switch to his
there's also
axe.
a hunting rifle, Dave's hunting rifle, yeah, Tim's hunting rifle.
Yeah, so because if we could do that one, is it?
Well, one of the suggestions I had for our technician was, would it be possible to swap the scope from the crossbow that I've got to the rifle?
Ah, yes. That
Oh, I could.
again would take. So since you're just swapping the scope, you already have the scope. You're still going to have to put fittings onto the rifle to add the scope. So I'm going to say that's going to be roughly the same amount of time and scrap as doing one of the bayonets. So if you want to
Well,
if you want to leave quote unquote your rifle with Kang, and he can take the scope off of one of those crossbows and put it on your rifle, and you can have it when you get back, that's fine.
No.
Okay.
We're going to get stuff Fallout, and that's important. When we get
Well, yeah,
back, I can talk.
you can take another rifle though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there are
So
other
like you
rifles.
don't have to move anything on your sheet. You can just say you left your rifle with Kang, and you grabbed
just
one
use
of
a
the
different
other
one.
rifles. Yeah.
Okay, well I'll have to leave the scoped crossbow and take an unscoped crossbow.
Yeah, you will need to do that. Well, I think there's a scope crossbow in there, isn't there?
There's a...
I think he might have grabbed that one. He
There is
might
a
have grabbed that
modern,
was
there's
scope.
the modern crossbow sitting in the inventory there.
Yeah, there's a modern crossbow, but not a scoped
Is
crossbow.
that not a scope?
Is it not
So if I
scoped?
No,
So
he
if I
grabbed
take-
the scope
so-
one.
So if I take the modern crossbow,
Yep.
but leave the scoped one behind.
So he can
Yep.
then
Yep.
add the scope to a gun.
To your gun.
Yeah,
Yep.
we could have
Absolutely.
we could have a rifle with a scope and a bayonet.
Potentially, yeah.
Sick.
And I'm gonna rule once we get that figured out that a bayoneted rifle is probably gonna have this, or shotgun, or combat rifle is effectively gonna be the same as a spear in melee, as opposed to just rifle butting somebody. So we would then also have to add that to your attacks sheet, and I'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, so we've got that planned.
I need to take a bundle of torches if we're heading out, boys.
We got a lantern, don't we? Or is that still? I know I
have a
still got a
lantern.
lantern.
I've got.
I know
one.
I do. No, Jacob has a lantern.
I'm making sure
Just
I'm
in
well
case we
equipped.
gather.
I've got a tinder box, I've got a sleeping bag, I've got our camping kit, and I've got torches.
I got 5 days. I got 5 things of non-perishable food just
Yeah,
in case.
Yes, well, you've got 5 days, right? I think we only need.
So you guys do also have, it looks like, I mean, I don't know where all of these came from. I hope things aren't getting duplicated, but it looks like you got 7 Type A batteries.
When I'm moving something over, I'm deleting the one that's in the repair shop list.
And I thought somebody had a flashlight, but it's not in there.
Might be on Abigail's sheet.
I don't know if Abigail had it, honestly. But it's fine.
Might
So
be
you've got
finished.
some torches, you've got some lanterns. you do have some Type A batteries at camp. You might want to look into finding, hopefully, potentially a. You've also got a solar recharger. So finding
I thought
like
we
a
found.
flashlight.
Didn't someone else find another window, or one of the groups? I thought we should have at least 2 of those.
No, not exactly. Again, remember all the things that you find on the scavenging rolls are
Yeah.
just going to come back as scrap. They're not coming back as actual items. So the items
okay.
described are just for description.
Does a backpack give you extra
Okay.
inventory?
No, it just lets you carry stuff and then drop it so it's easy to pick up and move.
Yeah, it doesn't give you actually any
It doesn't give you extra though.
Yeah.
Not unless it's like some fantastical kind of like, perfectly efficient combat rig.
I'm just optimizing
Your
my loadout.
straight backpacks are just ways to carry things.
Yeah. Oh, I've already got a backpack already. Never mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in my equipped. Right. Yeah, I'm equipped and ready to go for the mission anyway.
Okay. So if
yeah,
everybody's
I'm
ready to go, we will, as I said, take our first shift to travel into, 2 shifts to travel to the vet clinic. So you
sorry.
get to the vet clinic. Sorry, go ahead.
Quick question: did I lose a strain in last night's sleep?
Yes. Yes, you would have recovered 1 strain, not stress.
Oh,
But
Charlemagne said
system
we should
strain
be
goes
full,
down by
shouldn't
1.
I don't have any stress.
they? Oh, that is full.
Okay, so it's going to take you 2 shifts to get to the clinic. Let's see if we have... Oh, yeah, reloading things might be good. Make sure you remove that 23 rounds from your readied inventory. That's a big reload.
So the rifle magazine, I changed it from 30 to 7.
If the one that's in your readied inventory, not in the gun, but yeah. Yep. Because you basically just swapped out mags.
Yeah.
Now you have your gun's fully loaded, but
And
now you have a
7
mag
rounds.
with just 7 rounds in it. Yeah. Okay, so first... Oh no, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Well, we'll keep that there just in case. Encounter check. Is the party exposed? No, you are taking time and being careful. So, no significant encounters for your first shift.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Something's happening in the wasteland.
Well, I already rolled this one, so we'll just use that. As you feel like you're getting fairly close to the vet clinic, and you've been traveling for most of the day. The sun is getting low in the western horizon. And as you're traveling through the streets... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Max, we can barely see you. You're like disappeared behind your filter, by the
Oh,
way.
sorry. Sorry, it's just the way the filter is.
Yeah, you're
It's everything
disappearing
else is
behind
fine.
it.
Yeah, if you're too far back, back,
Did
you
you?
just disappear
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, I screwed it up, so hopefully that will make it better.
Thanks.
So you're traveling down a wide street, and there are, mounds of snow on either side of you that you've become pretty familiar with as probably buried vehicles or bus stops, things like that. But as you head down the main street, suddenly all of you can feel a bit of a rumble beneath you.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna
Does
need
it sound
every...
like a stampede?
No, it doesn't sound like a stampede.
Thank God for that.
I'm gonna need all of you to make an evasion save.
Ooh, evasion. Okay.
God is with me today, 15. Oh, nice.
Well, I rolled an evasion save, but nothing's come up. I will try again.
That's happened to me before.
Yeah, try it
sometime.
again. You probably just hit the button at the exact same moment somebody else did.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Not me.
Do you have anything to modify that, or does anybody have an ability that can support you?
Hang on.
Oh no, didn't Charlemagne have that thing where he can make someone make a reroll?
He does,
Yes,
but it's up to him
yes,
whether or not
yes,
he
yes,
uses
yes,
it.
yes. Dave, I've
It's
got
once per session.
I've got Comrade. Once per session per ally. So once per day per PC ally or good NPC friend. So I can do this once per day. Once per day per character. As
enough.
an instant action, allow them to re-roll a roll they've just made of any kind.
Thank
may
you so
re-roll
much.
that, David.
Let's hope this is better.
Fingers crossed. Oh, I'm okay.
No.
Still not enough. So, Charlemagne and Jacob, describe for me how you get free or get away from the street collapsing beneath you.
Oh.
Ooh.
So.
And don't forget, one of you is pulling the sled.
Yeah. So I've got.
I guess that's a really good point. Who is pulling the sled? It's not Tim because he's
I'm probably
covering the trail.
I'm probably pulling it because I'm pretty strong myself.
Right,
so I'll just have to talk to Charlemagne just to keep an eye out, and I'm pulling it, probably walking next to him, and either.
I'd say just as the ground slides away from under me, I just kind of run up it as it's going out, and just manage to get up and pull myself up actually through great athleticism.
Okay.
And fear. Wow.
So Tim unfortunately tries and makes for one side, but maybe just a split second of indecision is enough to stymie your attempt to save yourself as the street collapses into the tunnel below. Tim, you're going to take some damage. So I'll just go ahead and roll that real quick. Your armor will not protect you from this. You take 5 points of damage from the fall.
Ouch.
And you are about 20 feet down in this subway tunnel.
Okay.
Oh, did anyone bring a rope? Didn't, Shit.
I don't think so.
No, I didn't.
I don't think that we're planning to bring rope.
No. Shit.
So this brings up a really interesting idea that we haven't used a whole lot, that you might want to consider for the future. Sometimes having some scrap with you can be beneficial, because if you had just some type 0 or type 1 scrap,
Call that rope.
you could basically say, oh, well, we've got some cordage right here, and you could then use that cordage as a supply to be able to help get him out. That being said, you don't have anything like that.
I've got a sleeping bag. I could rip it up and tie it. Gonna take a while, but we could do
It
that.
is going to take a while, and I love where you're thinking. So a sleeping bag is going to be, for a standard sleeping bag, we'll go ahead and call that tech level 2. So that is going to take you, essentially, we won't call it the whole shift. I'm not going to be mean. You're not going to be stuck out here overnight. But it will take you some time. And it's going to cost you the sleeping bag to tear it up and turn it into cordage.
Cut it up. I've got a knife. It's not going to be that bad. At least I can cut it.
No, it won't be hard. But, so,
Time consuming.
it's tech level 2, it's encumbrance 1, is it not, the sleeping bag? Okay, so you basically come up with 1 tech level 2 scrap,
So
which you can then potentially craft into rope. The problem is how deep it is, and this is where I'm going to get mean, because you need about 4 levels of scrap, 4 units of scrap, to be able to make a 20-foot long rope or cord to be able to get down to him.
Jacob, did you bring a sleeping bag with you?
Yeah,
Well,
I got one with me.
Well, I can take a lump of concrete down on the bottom here,
Okay.
wrap my sleeping bag around it and chuck it back up to the surface.
But it need to be double as long to make it up. This is the point. We need 2
Right.
sleeping bags at least.
No, I can throw
far.
my sleeping bag up to the surface for you to.
Or for us to use it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, me and Max
Well,
are both
you
got
could
one.
do it as well, and you could tear it up and make the cordage and throw it
Throw the
up in
cordage
the
up.
meantime. So,
Yeah.
tell you what, since and Jacob has a sleeping bag, is that
Has
correct?
one. So that's enough. If we cut the 2 of them up, that's enough, isn't it?
No, because they're only encumbrance 1. However, I'm going to
Shit.
back up a bit. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say with 3 units of tech level 2 scrap, you're able to make enough cordage to reach Tim.
So I'll delete my sleeping bag from my character sheet
So
then.
you all delete your sleeping bags. But the good news is, what I'm going to let you do is, when you pull Tim up, you do get to keep the tech level 2 scrap.
Okay.
Because you basically now have cordage, right?
So that's
Okay.
tech level 2 scrap.
Right.
How do I add something to my character sheet? How do I add some scrap?
So the tech scrap is in items under equipment, which you should have access to. And you can just drag over 3 of the tech level 2 scraps. Or each of you can drag over 1. The fact that you had to sacrifice your sleeping bags and use the scrap, I'm not going to make you make any rolls to get Tim out. You take some time, you put the cordage together, you lower it down to him, and between Charlemagne and Jacob, you're both strong enough to be able to haul Tim up the 20 feet to the street level.
It's not letting me change the amount to 3. It says it must be 1.
Oh, no, you have to drag 3 over, because
Oh, you
each
do.
one weighs 1 encumbrance unit.
Right. Got ya. Sorted.
I mean, we have the sled, so you could always throw it in the sled.
Yeah.
You could throw it in the sled, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now you're gonna make me. So for next session, I'll make a sled sheet that we
Yeah,
can
I've
keep
got-
track of
I've
inventory
got enough
on it
space for now,
separately.
There's not quite enough. I don't have to quite do that yet. Just.
I mean, if you want to throw it on the sled, I can keep track of it by hand over here.
No, but I'm going to have a look at when Tim gets up. I'm going to have a look at him with my first aid kit and see if I can tend to his wounds.
Well, before you do that, I wanted to ask you, David, with Tim being down in the hole, I know you kind of either worked on it yourself very quickly or threw your sleeping bag up, whatever you wanted to do. Did you want
Well-
to take a look down there at all?
Well, this is the
get up,
problem.
yeah.
That's why I chucked my sleeping bag up. This is a subway. We know
Uh-huh.
what comes out of subways.
Uh-huh.
So I am going to be very, very quiet and check both ends of this rubble pile to see
Okay.
what evidence there is of things down here.
Excellent.
Obviously,
Okay.
anything that was underneath this fall-in is going to be tomato paste.
Sure. So I will absolutely let you toss your sleeping bag up there then, so that you can do a little look-see around for yourself.
If he starts wandering about down there, Charlemagne's going to be like, "Get up!"
Oh no,
here."
no! I'm going to be sneaking
I don't have that deck
around
handy, do
down
I?
here, not wandering.
We don't need to take a break. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to grab a deck real quick that I've got behind me.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna turn off my camera for a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
No problem, dude.
Yeah. So the thing is, Dave, while me and Max's characters are like cutting sleeping bags and tying them up, we're not going to be paying attention to you. You're going to be able to sneak away before I can say, "Oh, stay there."
Oh, I wouldn't sneak away.
Just be careful, man.
Oh yes, I'll be careful. Don't you worry.
Okay, I'm back.
I don't want to jump down there like.
So, Tim, why don't you make a luck save for me?
And I've just used my thing on him.
I'd love to make a luck save, unfortunately.
What I also need from you, since you're looking around, is a notice check.
Based on which characteristic?
Oh, intelligence or wisdom, whichever you think is appropriate. Intelligence would be if you're looking around intently, like specifically looking. Wisdom would be for just kind of a passive awareness.
Intuition.
Either one works, though.
I'd love to say in wisdom, but it's actually going to be intelligence.
Okay.
Oh, that looks good.
Still great. Fantastic. Okay.
And I did say I was sneaky while looking.
Yes. If that becomes necessary for you to make that roll, I will do so. What I will let you do though now is to just roll a d6. Four. Okay. So.
Is that how many creeping things come up and get them?
No, so I
Mhm.
forgot that I had a handy little deck of cards that might work very well
Ooh.
with this game.
Very nice.
Nice.
So, interesting. Okay. So you rolled a 4, so you're only going to get 2 of these. Pick a number. You pick a number between 1 and 4.
Since I rolled a 4, I'll say 4.
Okay. Pick another number between 1 and 3.
3.
Okay. So as you are looking around down there, the first thing is that I can tell you based off of your luck roll is you do not see, doesn't mean they're not there, but you do not see any indication of anything passing through recently. You don't see really any tracks. I don't know if you test it or if you just make an assumption, but I'll go ahead and tell you. The third rail of the subway is not powered, obviously. There's no lights on or anything down here. The rubble from the street collapsing does make a pretty sizable pile, because the pit that you fell into, it's about 20 feet to the tracks, but the collapsed portion itself, it's irregular, but it's probably at least 20 to 30 feet in rough diameter of this collapse, almost the full width of the tunnel. So a lot of rubble, but it doesn't block either way, right? So you can see kind of as far as the light filtering down allows you to see down either way. This is just a line of subway. There's no, there's probably like a side platform, but you don't see within visual range any doors or anything like that. However, one of the things that fell into the pit with you and uncovered by the snow was a small kind of like Fiat car, right? Thankfully, it didn't hit you or tumble
Fiat
onto
500.
you. Right, but
Nice.
as you search around, maybe looking for anything useful, you do discover a couple of things in the vehicle, kind of thrown around, not in any specific place necessarily. But there is a book that is in the vehicle that appears to be a textbook of some kind that deals with farming. And
Oh.
there is also a gas mask, which looks to be intact. The lenses of the mask itself appear to not be cracked or anything like that. Gotta do my magic again. I don't know what's
That's a
happening
nice
with my
find.
camera. However, it doesn't have any filters attached to it, nor do you see any filters in the vehicle. So it's currently useless, but it is a gas mask.
I
Hey,
will
there's something King could
I'll-
do with.
I'll stick both of them in my backpack.
Okay.
Red.
They each have an encumbrance of 1.
Is
I'll
there anything
make
on the
something
list?
for you very quickly to add. Let's just do this. I'm gonna make a random item in the item list.
Thank you.
Okay, so were you able to move that over to your sheet, 2 of them? And I've got it. And I've got those written down in my side notes here to add later. Okay. So, after a time, you get Tim pulled up. The sun is definitely getting low at this point. You're heading into evening. Do you want to continue on to the veterinary clinic, or do you want to find someplace else to camp for the evening?
We're 3 sleeping bags down now, so I think we want to try and get to if that building, just in case it's a warmer place to sleep than out in the street here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, we
Or
know
you
the
could
vet
try and
clinic. We know the vet clinic is in good shape because we've already
You do.
spotted it. So I think we know we can get shelter there, providing it's not occupied.
right.
If it is occupied, we need to persuade them
What do you think again?
to
Yeah.
stay there.
Right. Okay, so did Charlemagne want to do first aid on Tim before you head out?
Please. Yes, please.
Okay, so keep in mind, it's just a d6 plus your heal skill rating that Tim is healed, but you're going to need to make a roll to see if the first aid kit deteriorates.
Yeah. It says when rolling heal skill, I check 3. I roll 3d6 and drop the lowest.
You don't have to roll to do basic first aid. It's just
Right,
he
okay.
regains 1d6 plus your heal rating HP.
Okay, by the way, also pharmaceutical or other technological healing devices. So does that include first aid kits? Heal twice as much hit points as normal.
Oh?
I don't have level 2. Sorry,
Ooh.
ignore that. I don't have level 2.
Okay.
I don't have level 2.
I was gonna say, jeez.
Yeah, so I'm just rolling. I'm not. Am I rolling heal or do I not need to roll heal? It's just the 1d6.
You don't roll heal. It's just a d6 plus your heal skill level,
Right,
and then you have to roll to see if the
okay, so
the
my
first
heal
aid kit
So
deteriorates.
it's d6 plus 2. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 5.
So he gets 5 back.
And then
So
I
you patch
roll,
him up from the fall.
then a d6, and it's a 1 where it deteriorates, isn't it?
Yep, I remember that.
Yes.
First
Cool.
aid kit's fine.
Also, don't forget, Tim, that whenever you receive first aid like that, you gain a point of system strain.
Okay, that's added.
All right. So, heading on to the veterinary clinic then. Let's go ahead and bring up that map. So the
Ooh,
veterinary
nice.
clinic is in a, I guess the equivalent of like a strip mall. Buenos Aires is very kind of cobbled together. It's not very uniform in terms of building height, things like this. This happens to be a one-story building surrounded by some other buildings that look like they may have been 2, possibly even 3 stories at some point. Most of the other buildings around are, unfortunately, piles of rubble. From what you can see, there are 2 available entrances. One which very clearly appears to be the main entrance, kind of a double door with windows on either side. And looking in through the windows, although the snow is piled up pretty high, you can see what looks to have been like a waiting room. Several chairs and benches and things and whatnot. There's also a door on the side of the building that is probably the employee entrance, which is where they would go into, to start their shift, right? Start their day.
Well, I'd suggest we try the employee entrance and see whether or not that's openable. If that's not, then we try the main entrance.
Okay.
Yep. I'll lead the way. Mind your
So,
feet.
the employee entrance, this would have been a fairly new construction or maybe new addition. This side entrance looks like it has some kind of an electronic lock with a keypad on it. Trying the door, you can't open it, so it's locked, and there's no power to the keypad that you can tell. It's not lit up.
What's the door made of? Is it metal? Or is it wood?
You give it a rap with your knuckles, and yeah, you figure it's probably some kind of metal core, possibly with like a wood veneer.
So an axe isn't going to do it, really.
It would take
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
In that case, rather than waste time, let's
Try
try the main entrance.
Try the main entrance first, yeah, see what the story is.
So the main
Oh, yeah.
entrance, as you approach it, the first thing that you notice, and I'm going to give this to you for free, it does look like there's a furrow in the snow, indicating that somebody has been
opened.
using the main entrance.
Right,
It
okay.
looks like it probably has been fairly recently, possibly even within today. You see some very clear boot prints in the snow.
Just
A
one
couple
set.
of different prints, actually. Some boot
Okay.
prints, some shoe prints. Looks like maybe a sneaker.
So we don't see big feet prints like Chud footprints around.
And
No, these are
we-
definitely clothed, covered feet.
And we don't see a red hand on the door to say that they've emptied the place.
No,
We don't see one giant foot. So somebody's got a normal left leg and a giant right leg. We don't see
No.
that, no?
no.
Okay. We've never seen him again, have we, boys? Dave, you never met him. He was a creature.
His foot wouldn't be giant, though. What you'd be looking for there is some kind of, like, insectoid, like,
Yeah.
insert kind of print.
And possibly it'd be heavier on that side, though, because it was so...
Possibly heavier on that side, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we met an interesting man
Okay.
in the first few episodes. I think it was 3.
Is there snow partially covering all these footprints?
Just a little bit.
So they're
Your
very
best
recent.
guess would be like they just came back.
Came in or out?
In.
I think...
In that case, let us see whether we can talk to them.
Yes, I think, Tim, and I'm willing to take your counsel on this. I think we go in by knocking on the door first and yelling, hello, friendly, and something like that. Not yelling, but just saying, making ourselves known so that somebody doesn't just see us coming around the corner and shoot us.
There's nobody in that waiting room area, correct?
No. And the light is definitely fading, but no, it doesn't look like there's anybody in this immediate area.
So I suggest we go in and shut the doors and then deal with it. We don't want to kind of yell from out here.
Yeah. You're right.
Looking in at an angle from the side windows, can I make out whether there's any sort of alarm set on the door?
Oh, that's a good question. Why don't you make a notice intelligence roll for me?
Probably because I'm not very bright.
Oh.
Nope.
But you don't see any indication of any kind of alarm attached to the door.
Okay.
Hmm.
Given it's something I would do, can I try and open the door carefully so that I can try and disconnect any,
Cables or anything.
Sure.
any wires or ropes leading to tin cans?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you slowly, carefully try to open the door, in this instance, I think I am going to ask a luck save.
Ooh. Yeah, Jacob has spear in hand because you two got good range weapons.
Oh, nice roll, Dave.
Yep.
Okay. So
Congratulations,
as
dude.
you are opening the door, you notice, kind of at the last second, as you are pushing it open, that there is attached to it some kind of string, maybe like a fishing line kind of wire that goes further back, and from what you can see, kind of works its way towards the inner door area.
Okay. Can I try and disconnect and reconnect it to the other door so that it's I can open this side door without it triggering whatever it is?
From looking at it, from the way that it's set up, you could potentially do that. You also feel like, though, if you just sever it, because your guess is it's probably connected to some kind of noise-making device, right? It looks like in opening the door, there's like a counter pulley that would then pull it tight and pull on the string.
Right. Okay. So if,
So
if I just sever that, then it won't pull it. Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I will do that then.
Okay.
Saying that, if you sever it, it might be holding some cans up later on, further down the line. You sever it, they might drop and hit the floor.
Could be.
Well,
But it looks like in pushing the door open.
I'm pushing the door open.
Well, rather you're pulling the door because it's a
right.
pull. Right.
Okay. So
pulling
the door. Okay. Can I quickly push the door slightly to wrap the string around a crossbow bolt so that it's held, and then sever it just inside the door?
Sure.
And then I can then hold that string while somebody goes in, and then grabs it and ties it to the inside of the other door. So
okay. Yeah, you could do that.
We're not pulling it. We're not releasing it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Keep it at the same tension while somebody gets by it, and then tie it up there at that same tension. Yeah, Dave, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so I like this. I am going to ask for. So Tim is the one doing this.
Charlemagne,
Will this come under sneak?
I'll do the other part then.
Yeah, I think because sneak does handle like disarming things and so forth. So yeah, you can roll sneak with dexterity for this to be successful.
Nice.
That looks good.
Ooh.
Excellent. So you are able to do all of that as you described, and you feel fairly certain that at no point was there any excess stress or pull on this line. So you're fairly confident that you did not set off whatever
or
loosening, right? Exactly.
We also didn't cause any excess slack to drop anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Nice work, Tim. Nice work.
I presume it goes through a hole drilled in the doors on the far side, or something like that.
Actually, it was just tied to the inner door handle.
So just tied from here.
Well, no, the line goes back through from this door. The line goes back through that door.
Right. Okay. And is it just like a thin, like fishing cable, and it can fit between the gaps of the doors, I guess?
Or underneath, yeah.
Or underneath, yeah. Got you.
That's what I thought.
Got you.
Okay. Are there any windows or such like in that internal wall?
So yes, this is a window right here, some kind of reception window.
Plastic glass, I would think, maybe.
Yeah.
So I think if we come across to the inner and then have a look through
under the window.
No, if you come around the outside, if you come around there, you're visible through that window.
Yeah, but I mean, go under it.
Okay, fine. It depends how high it is. I don't know how high it is.
What's your goal? Because there is a counter here.
It was to get to.
So there's like a counter that's probably like mid chest.
Right. So I was thinking
several openings and a window.
So we want to get to there without being seen. So I'm thinking we creep round this wall and then we get to down below the level of that, and we crawl along or creep under it that way.
Crawl along underneath it.
Somebody looking through it doesn't see us. If we just go and just march in here like that, somebody standing there is going to see us. Even if we crouch down, somebody standing there is going to see us. If we go like that, and then up to there, and then crawl, somebody standing there is never going to see us. Hopefully, that's what I'm thinking, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, before you go through all of that, there's enough light left. The light is fading fast, but I will give you that there is currently enough light left that you can look through these windows right here, or even here, and you can see that there's nobody over here. Unless they're tucked down underneath the counter, you don't see anybody over there.
Okay.
And you would be able to see this door and another window here. These windows on the kind of smaller areas, imagine those are like those long kind of tall windows you see in a doctor's office that are kind of thin, next to the doorways.
Like a door frame, and it's like the middle of it. I'm guessing that the blue-filled rectangles are windows and the white-filled rectangles
those are all windows.
Are
white or door.
The whites are doors, yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go in.
Okay.
So you can be a sneak if you want to sneak up to that door. You can, but you don't see anybody over there right now.
Okay.
Are you guys being sneaky? Do you need to make stealth checks?
Yes. I would think we're gonna.
I'm constantly just walking in. I'm gonna cover the rear. You guys are a little sneakier than I am. I can watch it behind us.
Well, here's the problem, though. If you're not also trying to be sneaky, you're going to ruin their sneakiness if you are close to them.
I don't have sneak. It's unsurvived, or do I get to do it on survival?
Oh, no, it would be sneak, so you would have to roll untrained.
I will suggest that you let me sneak across to that door and listen, and then open it and have a peer through.
Yeah.
By yourself?
Okay.
With them staying back? Okay.
And if they
that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting up there.
By the main open door, I can sneak forward and try and figure out who is in there. If
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So are Jacob and Charlemagne inside, though? They're just staying by the door?
Exactly.
Yeah, we just kind of just walked in and just, get our backs back there in case if something comes through.
Sure.
We can just kind of,
I mean, backed up there in between the two windows rather than on the window.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim, why don't you just give me a base sneak check right now, just in case it needs to come up. You can use your dexterity, of course. And we'll use that for...
I'm swapping to axe just in case.
Swapping to axe, okay. Oh, because you actually have to physically move things from ready to stowed. Yeah, that's right.
Where did he go?
Yeah, so Jacob and Charlemagne don't even really see Tim in the dimming light with all the chairs and whatnot around as you're moving up to that door, right?
Nice one.
Okay, and listen and check and see if there's any. We haven't seen, looking through that window, we haven't seen any sources of light, have we?
Not through this window, no.
Right.
Although if there is light, it would be difficult to tell because there is still some light filtering in from sunset.
Okay. All right. I will initially listen and see whether there's any light visible under the door.
Okay, so if you're looking under the door, you can see where the fishing line kind of trails underneath the door. And yes, looking under the door, you can see that there is light coming from the far end of the building.
Okay,
You're not sure exactly where, but there is a light back there.
Okay.
And it looks like... Sorry, it's flickering, like a firelight or a torchlight.
Okay. I shall reach into my backpack, pull out a torch, point at it, and point along the building while looking back at the other two. Okay?
Okay, so we see you doing the sign language for light, I guess.
Light in that direction, yes.
Yes, okay, yeah. I picked that up. I'm an intelligent priest, I got that.
Are you, or do you both need to make mental saves before thinking, he
excuse
means
me.
light a torch?
No.
I'm kidding.
Intelligence 12, I'm not thick. Intelligence 12, wisdom
I got
15, I'm
something with
certainly
the
not
brain.
stupid.
Okay. So yeah, you all know that there's light down in that direction. As far as voices, I mean,
It's a fair
you can
distance. I
see
wouldn't hear
light down
anybody.
there. Yeah,
I wouldn't hear anybody if they were down there. It'd be too far.
yeah.
Okay. Right. If I open the right-hand door,
Uh-huh.
that possibly wouldn't be easily visible from down that end. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah, possibly not.
I shall look over at the other two and kind of mime opening the right-hand door and stepping through and kind of raise my shoulders, kind of, should I?
Sure. So yeah, as you step through that door, light has become.
No, hang on.
Oh.
I've mimed turning
Oh,
the
I
door
see.
handle and stepping through while looking back at these two, and kind of raise my hands to say, should I, sort of thing.
I'll go.
Yeah, I kind of give you a look around and just not walk through yet, kind of thing.
Okay.
Go
In
slow
that
and
case,
keep your eyes
I
open.
I shall ease the right-hand door open a crack and look down and listen.
Look down, you say.
Sorry, look down the passageway.
As the door opens,
okay.
Brian, and as the door opens,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get this angle on it to try and look like that. So you see the direction I'm now looking when the door opens.
Sure.
I'm going to try to look that direction. And Max, if you can, you could try and see as much of that as you can, I suppose.
So opening the door, this door doesn't have windows in it or anything like that. This is just the door that separates the waiting room from the general, area of the veterinary clinic. Tim, go ahead and I want a notice and wisdom check from you real quick. But as you look inside between all three of your different angles, you can see 4 other doors here that are pretty easy to see. Looking down this hallway, you do see light somewhere in this area. Maybe nice. Maybe from like this corner, or maybe it's inside like one of these doors and kind of filtering in through the window. Everything looks fairly well, like not, nothing is rubble. There's a bunch of stuff in a lot of places. Tim, you notice that the rug on the floor just inside of this door it's got a weird little hump in it, like right in front of the doorway.
You mean like a landmine?
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
It's got a larger diameter. The hump itself is probably at least 3 feet across.
That's a big landmine.
Yeah, but if it's something somebody's put together from scrap, it could be a bear trap or something like that. Okay. Can I gently reach? Hold my axe with one hand,
With
put
the
out my
axe.
knife with the other, and just lift the edge of the rug slightly.
Okay, yeah, I mean, lifting the edge of the rug is no trouble. As you lift up the rug, you do see some kind of metal contraption, sharp, rusted, underneath the rug.
Oh, that's like a bear trap or something. Jeez, oh.
Okay. Gesture to the other two, kind of point down, sort of thing, and then. I don't think it's something I could easily disarm without making a noise. So.
Would a fixed roll? Maybe I could probably see if I get to him.
Hang on.
Sorry.
You're not there. It's a question. Can I step through the door without treading on it?
Yes, now that you know where it is, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, but if I flip the rug off the top, everybody else will see where it is.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, just move the rug to the side, sure.
Okay, And then I shall gesture to the other two to come, and I shall step through and move to the corner and look round.
And I will start to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're definitely seeing light down here.
Okay.
Um,
Well, now I'm through
looks like
the
a campfire.
Now I'm through the door rather than listening underneath the door. I should hear, even if I can't hear words, I should hear any noises.
Yeah, I mean, you hear some murmuring, like maybe just regular conversation. I will also say that now that you're inside, you can kind of see how the wire or fishing line, and in fact, it looks like it's made out of a bunch of different things. Like part of it is string tied off to a fishing line, tied off to some wire, tied off to more string, and it goes to about here, and then goes up the wall. And hanging from the ceiling, there are a bunch of tin cans and aluminum cans.
Yep.
Yeah. An alarm. A sound alarm.
Yep, it's an alarm.
I would probably. Sorry.
I mean, that's at the moment. That's no more than we would do to our place. It's not anything bad. It's not a bad sign. These could be good people that are hiding here. This could be good.
You do see down this hallway, as you're kind of taking everything in, there are a few more, I'll just say, conspicuous rugs of different knit and weave and appearance and color in a couple of other places.
Yeah. Okay. I shall gesture to the other two that I'm just going to check the other side, and I shall sneak across to the corner and look round the other way.
Okay.
Okay, we'll stay here for now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm
So-
watching the door. So if you watch in, I'm gonna watch this area right
Yeah,
here.
well, if you're watching the door, if you're still on that side, I'll step through that far then.
Okay.
As you peek around the other side, you become aware, well, very quickly, because it's right there in front of your face, that there are several tall cabinets on rollers and wheels that have been pushed into place
That's a barricade.
right about there.
Okay.
Now, they look like they'd be pretty easy to move,
Yeah.
because they're all on
Hmm.
wheels.
Can I be a pain in the ass and request you put them in a different colour so that the rugs are red and they're something else?
No, that's fine.
Sweet, thank you.
Keep talking, though. That's going to take me a second.
Yeah.
And is there a suspicious-looking carpet lump just in front of them?
Just in front of it.
There isn't. No.
Right.
It could be something on it. They could like have you push it and then trip something on it that way.
I think
Oh
that's.
yeah.
I mean, from my first guess would be that's to block you to force anyone going round that way, so they have to go over the traps, and that's all the traps are concentrated on one side because the other side's blocked off. That's my first guess. That's how you would do it if you were trying to protect yourself. You make it so there's only one way in like that. And
Okay. Right. I will come back to just here and whisper to the other two what I've seen and ask Charlemagne, does he want to try talking to?
yes, absolutely. This could be more lost souls just like us that could be needing our help. Absolutely, we want to try
Very
talking.
good. Well, I will stay on guard. If you want to call out and say hello, do you want
Think
Jacob to be inside with us or
Yes.
stay in the waiting room?
I don't want to have anyone secret. I want them to be able to see all of us when they come out, so that we're not hiding anything. There's no one hiding, so that we're there and we're honest with them when they do come out. I think Jacob comes through it. So yeah, at that
I would
case,
advise against that. I would advise you call out to them and tell them that we're here, but
You think
I
Jacob
wouldn't
still
expose
hides?
us. If they come out shooting,
Okay, right, Jacob, you stay through there just in case. Then you stay through here.
All right, so I'm gonna say right about there is that if Tim's right there and you're right here, he can hide around the corner, and he has that long shot with a rifle if he needs to take shots at somebody.
Hopefully, it's not going to come to that. Hopefully, we've got friendlies here. I'm going to. What do you think the best way to get their attention? Just like a tap on the wall with a rifle butt or
Hang on a
something?
second. I'm going to have a look at the ceiling. Have we got any suspicious-looking air conditioning vents around here?
Yeah, like we did with
Those aliens.
the cop. Yeah, the
Oh,
cop place.
imagine.
So I mean, there are some vents in the ceiling.
One side being blocked off is actually giving me a bit of a flashback to them. Good point, Dave. Good point. I think it's people.
But there's no signs of kind of piled up
No,
stuff and kind of access routes into the air conditioning.
no, and the vents are still like in place. Like they're just vents. They're
Yeah.
not open. They're not removed. Yeah.
I think it's people. I
Alright.
think it's people.
There's no moist fluids dripping from any of them.
Okay.
Viscous dripping ichor.
Yay.
Sorry,
As you're looking around,
What
though,
did you say?
you know, I'll give you, now that you're kind of in the hall as well, I'll give you another notice check.
Is that all of us now?
Yeah, if you're all in the hall before you decide to take your actions. Notice and wisdom.
I don't know if I could see in there. I'm just watching.
Oh, look at that roll.
Ooh.
I can't do anything about my own roll, can I? Let me just check.
Okay, so
Hang on.
As
hang on.
as you look up, well, Tim got a 13. You don't need to.
I don't
like,
need
he's
to.
probably
Right,
not going to
okay,
keep this
okay.
secret from you.
I've got survivor.
As you
culture.
look up and look around, so you obviously notice the colored little bits on the floor, and as you're kind of taking everything in again, you can see along this hallway. There are some indications of bullets striking the walls. The trap that you have uncovered has kind of like recent, kind of tacky looking
Like
blood or fluid on it.
Right, okay.
And there are some blood splatters on the walls in a couple of places that would coincide with what looks like the direction of gunfire from down the hall.
Somebody said a gunfight in here.
We didn't see any recent signs of corpses outside, did we?
Nope.
We didn't see any
Sure
drips. Didn't see any drips of blood in the footprints that we were looking at either, did we?
Yeah.
Now, I
mean-
will say again, all of this blood, I shouldn't say recent and tacky. That was unfair. It's obviously blood. It's not recent. It's not old. It's still noticeable as blood splatter.
Aye. It's
But
not
it didn't
went
happen
dark brown
today.
yet. Okay.
Well, I didn't know if you guys wanted to check the rooms that are back here first before we countered them. There might be something there.
No.
Yeah.
I
Your
mean,
call.
we're not going to be searching for stuff while we know there's people
Well, we know
down
there's
that
somebody
end.
here. Yeah, we need to confront the people
Well-
first.
Yeah, I just want to make sure there was nothing somebody was hiding in here. That if we're counting something here, and they will come in, from there.
Well, I can go and have a look through those windows.
You could.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's about it. I was just saying is that
All right.
this because you just look in right quick, and I'm just like,
Have a look, maybe. It might be worth a look. Just be careful, though, in case there's any more traps or anything.
I will have a sneak. I will watch out for more traps.
Be very
and I
careful,
will carefully
please.
look through those windows.
So I can just tell you, this looks like an office of some kind. It looks like there were possibly an office for 3 or 4 people. This looks to be like a treatment examination room. This looks like the same. And looking through this window, this larger room looks to be some kind of an operating theater.
I was just going to guess that.
ooh,
But
okay.
all empty of people.
Correct.
And no.
And obviously you don't.
No slavering rabid animals there either.
No. And you don't know what's in any of this stuff here. But
the windows,
yeah, at least through the windows you can look through. That's what you see.
Lovely. Okay, I will return and tell them there is no people in any of those rooms.
So I've got an
All right,
idea.
good.
We're coming up to about half time, so I'm thinking what we should do is I should go, hello, is there anyone there? And then we'll cut for half time, so it's a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So where does everybody want to be before Charlemagne calls out?
So you guys want me to stay outside while you two guys are in here, just in case, or do you guys want me inside?
I'm gonna be visible. You can remain invisible. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say something along the lines of, "Hello, we are not hostile. We are friendly." While all the while under my breath, I'm gonna be muttering, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me to
Yeah,
lie
holding the
down in
Bible.
green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." And I just mutter the Lord is my shepherd, the Psalm 23 under my breath the whole time. And then I'm...
Okay. Well, I'm going to lean my axe up against the wall and have my rifle in hand. Because if they're going to be shooting up the corridor, I'm probably going to have to lean around the corner and shoot down the corridor.
I will be doing... My rifle will be hanging on a strap across my chest, visible, but I'll have both hands up. And I'll rap on the wall and, "Hello, we are friendly. Hello, is there anyone there?"
Okay. Sounds good.
And we'll find out what happens after the break, I guess.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right, welcome back. So, as we left off, Charlemagne was calling out to supposed inhabitants of this veterinary clinic further down the hall. And as he calls out to them and begins, I mean, for lack of a better term, chanting underneath his breath,
Yep.
you see someone come out of one of these rooms. Oh, that's interesting. Why is he already damaged? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it's whatever.
He trod
So
on
he
the
comes
trap
out of
by
the room.
mistake.
Yeah, he blows himself
Right.
up.
And he is he is, you know, what you would expect of a survivor, a scavenger. He's carrying a shotgun, kind of just not pointed at you, just down. He's like, "Who are you?"
My name is Charlemagne. I'm a survivor. A priest. I'm looking for other survivors.
"What do you want?"
People. We're here to find people. I have two with me. I have two friends with me. We are not hostile. We've come to meet people. We're looking for people.
"Well, you're not one of those things, so it's fine. This is our place. What do you..."
Well, perhaps we could trade. We have things to perhaps trade. We could talk. Can we talk? We're not a danger to you. Look, I am carrying a rifle, but I'm not holding it. My hands are up here. We only want to talk and meet people. You're survivors. We're survivors. We're just reaching out.
He's like, "Oh, we're eating dinner. What do you want?"
Well, we have a sick dog, and you have a veterinary surgeon here. We were actually hoping maybe you could help.
So on hearing a sick dog, you see his face kind of soften a bit. Everybody loves dogs.
Everybody loves dogs, eh?
He's like, "Look, ain't none of us vets. We just found this place. It seemed, it's still standing. It seemed safe enough to set up camp in."
And
We've been here a few days.
We're looking for medicine, animal medicine, and this obviously is the place to look. Are you going to let us? Is that something you're going to let us do? Scavenge here for animal medicine.
Yeah, if you want to look around, that's fine. We've already been over the place, taken what we needed. We can't take everything. There's a lot here.
Yeah, and I mean, what we're looking for isn't really going to be of any help to people anyway. We're specifically looking to help a sick dog. Obviously, if we find bandages and things, and we could use those, but we're
I want you to give me a talk roll with charisma.
Yep. Come on, Charlie.
There's one thing Charlemagne is generally good at.
Yes, I've got an 8.
You want to stick with the 8, or would you like to go hard?
So what's my choice here? Can I...
So you have the ability that lets you re-roll things. Oh, no, you can't use that on yourself, can you? That's right. Okay, so we're sticking with the 8. Yep. He's like, look, you can look over some of the other rooms, but you don't need to come down here.
That's fair. That's fair.
And he points to the left at this door. He's like, we found some drugs and stuff in there. We ain't been through it all yet. There might be something in there you can use.
Thank you. And you promise us safe passage in and out of here. We're no threat to you, I promise.
Mind the carpets. Bear traps under them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
I will whisper to Charlemagne, sleep in waiting room tonight.
Oh yeah. And we did have sleeping bags, but we lost them. We had to use them, and we were looking for somewhere to rest for the night. Can we take shelter here as well? Is that going to be okay? Can we share your shelter for an evening? We have food we can share with you.
How much food do you have?
Oh, we only have 2 days, but we can split. We have enough for 2 days for 3 of us. We can make it 1 day and we can give you half of it.
All right, you give us half your food. You can stay in any room down on that end.
And we can scavenge.
And you can scavenge. You can get into the pharmacy.
It's a deal, my friend.
But you don't go past where I am. You don't go past the barriers on the other side.
It's a deal, my friend. Can we shake on it? Then I'm going to slowly start approaching. Avoiding the bear traps.
He whistles. And from behind him, you see a few more people come out. 2 of them have pistols down at their sides, not raised. And it looks like a couple of them have bows. And there's a couple of other people kind of crowding behind some of the doors.
Quite a few of them.
They pretty much outnumber you. But he looks back at one of the other people and is like, watch him. And he walks forward and he avoids the carpets. He's like, we can shake on it.
Okay. I'll gently like swing the gun round to my back so that it's not even at the front, and I'll shake it.
Okay. Yeah, and he slings his shotgun and he shakes your hand. He's like, Kent,
Charlemagne, and I'm looking him in the eyes, trying to make as much eye contact as I can.
Charlemagne, you and your people are welcome for the night.
Thank you. There's 3 of us.
Seems like you bypassed our cans. Be good of you to set that back up so we all can be warned if something else comes in.
We sure will. Now, just so you know, there's 3 of us. My friends Tim and Jacob are both here. They are both armed as well, but obviously I'm going to go back there and tell them exactly what we've discussed, that you're giving us shelter for the night and here, and I'll hand over the bundle of 3 food.
He's like, it's not enough for all of us, but it's a nice gesture and I appreciate it. Like I said, any room down on that end, you feel free to set up in. You feel like you got to set up any traps or anything, though, you got to let me know now so our people don't get hurt.
I can't find my food in my inventory. I was sure I took 3 days of food. I was sure I did. Where's it went?
Is it in the inventory?
I don't see it. I was absolutely sure I had put some food in there.
Well, it's fine. Let's just say that you did.
Right, okay.
And...
Take 3 out of the base. I'll do that.
Well, 6, because you said you took 2 days of food.
Yeah, I took,
right? Oh,
yeah,
no.
I said that we, between us, had 2 days of food because I thought I had 3 and
Yeah,
someone else had 3.
I have 5. I have 5 things of
Oh,
food.
so Jacob has 5, which is 2 days for us because Tim doesn't need to eat.
Right.
So, I'll give them...
So, Jacob needs to get rid of 3.
Yeah, Jacob, you need to take 3 of
No,
those
that's
8.
fine. Jacob did basically, he has a stack, he tosses over in the area, and he's like, here you go.
Okay.
I'll catch it because I don't want that landing on a bear trap, you fucking idiot. And
Oh yeah, he just tosses it toward
and I'll
Charlemagne. I'm like, here you
hand
go.
it to the guy.
So Kent, like, kind of waves behind him, and everybody goes back into rooms. You see a couple people go down the hall, and other people go back into the other rooms.
Say I'm bless you, my son, thank you.
I'm going to put my rifle down, step out with my hands raised, and ask, you mentioned creatures? Do we need to be, since we're down this end, we need to be on guard against them, yes?
Well, yeah, that's why we got the cans up. A couple of days ago, after we set up shop here, some things came at us in the night. We drove them off, killed a few.
I will ask if you can describe them.
Jacob looks at him and it's like, he's kind of looking at Tim, is like, you think that's the same things that attacked us?
Could be.
It's like they all look sick. Used to be like us, wearing rags. A couple of our folk got sick, but we used some of the medicine here to treat them. We got a couple medics, no vets.
Describe the ones that attacked us, and ask if that's what attacked them.
Yeah, it sounds like they're probably the same thing. Mutants from the sewers.
Well, from the subway. We saw them coming out and going into the subway.
Makes sense.
And that's what poor old Fallout, our dog, got hurt by. Can you tell us which drug you used to deal with the infection?
Yeah, so he's like,
probably understand it.
I'm telling him that, he's like, well, hang on. And so he goes back, and you hear some people talking, then he comes out, and he hands Charlemagne a bottle. He's like, this is what we gave our people.
Thank you. I'll try that, thank you very much. You may have saved a good dog's life, my friend. And thank you for your hospitality. We will rig your traps back up. We'll help you defend the place for the night. And we'll scavenge, take what we can, and then we'll be on our way in the morning. Thank you.
Okay. Where is the pharmacy?
So the pharmacy,
you said that was the room we found drugs
he pointed at this doorway. Yep.
Oh, okay. Now what was in this one?
Which one?
The big one.
No, the double doors, is it?
I mean, that's not past where he said you can go, so if you want to look in, you can.
Yeah, he kind of quietly right there, his hands up, and he just kind of like motions the door. Is it okay if I can check in? And he just looks in.
Yeah, he's like, it's fine. And so he goes back, but you see... Nope.
Somebody else come out to watch us, something like that. Yeah.
2 people come out to watch you. One's got a bow, one's got a pistol. So, Charlemagne, you open that door, and yeah, it's a pharmacy. There's a door on your left that opens to, it looks like it's a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not still functioning, but, racks and shelves and cases of all kinds of stuff. You could probably scavenge some good things here. When Jacob opens that door, you're basically looking at a grooming studio where dogs would be cleaned, groomed, or other animals.
Okay,
I-
you know, that's
I'll pick up my weapons, sling them, and then go back and reattach the trap.
Okay.
Sorry, the alarm.
Yeah.
And I will also see whether there's any way of wedging the door closed.
There's enough stuff around here. You probably could pretty easily do so. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, wedging it closed. You'd have to wedge it from the outside because the door's open out.
Yeah, it goes out the way.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Not possible.
well, we can put stuff in front of it, kind of like put like a little barrier.
I mean, there's a bunch of like chairs and benches and stuff you could put in front of it, but they didn't seem to. So
yeah.
Well, they've been
if
going
you
in and
wanna-
out, presumably.
they have been, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always that
but-
door we can go out.
Well,
Yeah,
if it's
potentially.
if it's those things from the subway, they already know people are here. If they've just left this looking like it's unoccupied, but with a hidden alarm, if people like us come along, they look in, they can't see anything, they open the door, bing, the alarm goes off. But those creatures already know there's somebody here, so since we're worried about them at night, setting up, putting some barriers in front of the doors to slow them down won't be a problem. We can always move them back tomorrow before we go. So I will I will move some benches, etc., into the doorway just to discommode anybody coming through.
Okay.
And
So yeah, Tim spends some time doing that. Do the three of you want to do any scavenging before you, in addition to finding the drugs that you need for Fallout?
Yeah.
Is there any
Absolutely.
chance I can find something to fix, like, you know, how my first aid went worn or less? If I can find stuff to replace some of the stuff I've used?
That would be your scavenging for
Okay.
the day, if you'd want to do that.
That's fine. That's what I want to do.
Okay. So, if you're gonna scavenge, anybody can do this, even Tim, because you're gonna get your barrier set up, but then you have time to walk around and take a look at stuff. In the areas that you were told you can do so, you're gonna need to make a notice intelligence roll to scavenge, or survival intelligence roll to scavenge for me. And then we already know what Max is going to be looking for. If you guys succeed, we'll discuss what you're looking for.
Survive or notice, you said.
Survive or
And
notice
is that a
plus
wisdom?
intelligence.
Is that on intelligence, right?
Yep.
So does this count as the foraging roll?
Scavenging.
No, this is different. Foraging is when you're just foraging as you travel. Well, no, technically, yeah, this would still be your foraging roll. Yeah, so you can use your ability with this.
Okay. So checks and results, roll twice and take the better roll.
Yep. So normally, Max, that would fail, because normally you need an 8. However, since
Okay.
you're in a location where it makes sense to look for such things, I lowered the difficulty to a 6. So you are
Okay.
able to roll a...
I just realised
You
I
did
rolled
just barely
top.
succeed,
That's
though.
absolutely not what I was supposed to roll, was it? It was.
No, you
Well,
rolled talk to the guy a while ago. You haven't rolled your survivor or
Yeah,
notice
I
yet.
thought I did roll a notice.
I don't think I can really do much better than a 14 on my first roll.
No, the 14's great. Okay, so unfortunately, Charlemagne doesn't find much of use. In addition to, I mean, you did find the medicine, but
Well,
nothing
I'm-
else of use.
I suggest we look for more of that medicine because if it helps Charlemagne, great, but some of the rest of us have been bitten by those things as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he gave you a pill bottle full, so like several of you will be like you can
Okay.
For Tim, Craig, and Fallout, you guys will be fine with just the drugs that are available. So you could find something else if you're looking for something else.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I just
what I can find in this place. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, are you looking for scrap? Are you looking for a specific item? Or are you looking for food? Or those are basically always your three choices: scrap, specific item, food.
Well, it's stuff. It's veterinary stuff that can either be used for Fallout or us. So it's basically medical equipment.
Okay. So
like bandages,
yeah,
scalpels, things like that, universal stuff like
so
that.
basically another like first aid kit
Yeah.
is really
If
what
there's
you're
another
looking
first
for.
aid
An
kit,
upgrade
Yeah.
to our first aid kits, yeah.
No, you'll find a third first aid kit
Oh, okay.
with his 14, so you can take a first aid kit from the items. It'll start at worn, but that's fine. Well, no, since this is a veterinary clinic, I think I'll have yours start at perfect or pristine.
Nice.
For Jacob, though, with a 6, I'm going to say you can increase the level of the condition of your first aid kit by 2.
Okay.
So whatever that puts it at, whatever it was
Okay.
at before.
It was lightly worn, or is it like, yeah, it was
Oh,
worn
light
before.
damage.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was at light damage. So no, you can move up to worn. You can't go back to perfect, but
Okay.
you can go back up to worn.
Oh no, yeah, that's always just trying to at least get it to worn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tim, did you add one for yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, first aid kits.
I've added a first
and
aid
you've
kit.
set it
I've
to
changed
perfect.
it to perfect.
Excellent. Okay.
Nice.
So
Good find.
got some good meds. And we got specific meds for Fallout, which you don't need to, and Tim and Craig, so you don't need to put that on your sheet. It's just a pill bottle. You just throw it in your pocket.
Well, I suggest that
Oh,
Jake
food.
and I both take a pill.
No, I didn't get bitten.
Jacob didn't
It's
get
like-
bit.
Oh, right, fine.
No, it was
Yeah,
No, it was
it's
Craig the
Tim.
dog and
Tim,
you.
Craig, and Tim, Craig, and Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I will take one of the tablets if you don't mind, just to be on
Okay.
the safe side.
And
Oh, yeah.
Jacob needs to go ahead and remove those other 2 food rations from your sheet because you guys
Oh,
need to eat.
plan to.
That's us eating today. Yeah.
Plan to.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
Tim was able to take care of himself. And then for the rest of the evening, I'm sure you're going to figure out watches, and that's fine. I'll roll for an encounter here in a second. But, Tim, you can make a physical save.
Just to see if they.
So the question for me is,
medicine
are we
sick.
gonna stay in here because it's a fairly
Oh,
fortified
no.
area?
On a 1?
Well,
So, you can actually re-roll that physical save because you just took some drugs.
From a 1 to a
1 to 20. Wow. He like crit
Dave.
failed,
Oh,
crit succeed. I
dear,
mean, the
dear.
game don't for myself
1
funny.
in 400.
Yep.
Those are potent
Oliver,
tablets.
Yes.
you need to open Craig's character sheet and roll a physical save for him.
Okay.
That's a failure.
Sure is.
Okay.
Craig's a piece of
And
shit
oh,
anyway, he can die, it's
somebody
fine.
needs to roll for Fallout.
Oh.
Ooh.
Shall I roll for him?
Yeah, you're luckier than me.
So just a D20?
If you open his sheet
I think
under
it has
camp
saves.
followers, you just click on the button for save.
Yeah, he has a save. Just as the one save, doesn't he?
Yep.
Come on, boy.
Nope.
Oh no.
Ha! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He can re-roll that.
The Charlemagne's
Yeah,
Yes, he can.
yes, so it's
I'll allow it.
It's a fellow PC or a friendly ally.
Yep,
Friendly
I
NPC
will
ally.
allow it.
He can
In
re-roll
that case, Charlemagne, please re-roll it.
I'll re-roll this one then, right? Okay, Fallout, where are you? Where is he? He's in the camp followers list, isn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
Save. Where's your save? Come on, Fallout. You've got this, mate. Oh, he's
So
not got
close.
this,
Well,
mate.
that's twice as much as I got anyway.
Yes. Not that it helps.
Okay, so. Okay. All right. So, you guys doing anything else before you go to sleep or whatever?
Yes, saying several prayers to the Lord.
I will suggest to Charlemagne that he has another talk with this group tomorrow to try and set up some sort of communication, get them to come with us, whatever.
Or a trade deal.
Because we have found that agricultural building,
Yes.
you know, the city farm.
Yeah, we would
which
like
is
to grow our numbers.
It's A, got a lot of space, B, it's got the potential to grow stuff.
But we need bigger numbers before we can cover 2 bases.
We need more people, yes.
Yeah, I would like for to grow the group. And if they are friendly, and they've acted friendly so far, then they are candidates for joining the group. I'll tell them we have food, I'll tell them we have good shelter. Maybe we can convince them. You're right, Tim, I will try that.
Yeah, try again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, since I rolled Tim anyway, we'll just say it's Tim. Tim, you're on watch. Where are you keeping watch?
Where I am, basically.
Okay.
I'm sorry, no.
is-
Sorry, no. I would keep watch where I could see through the window.
Where you can see through the
Yeah,
window.
So
okay.
would we rest somewhere like that, would we? Is that where we'll be resting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, here I can keep an eye on this secure door, as well as look through at the other doors.
Yep.
So, as you're keeping watch, you see in this room one of the. God, my camera's out of focus again. That didn't really help.
Sorry, which room?
A little bit. So, in the waiting room,
Yep.
You see one of the overhead registers, vents, just kind of like shaking, and it looks like something is pushing against it from
no.
above, and
Uh,
it just kind of swings open.
I reach behind me with my rifle and kind of bop the leg of whoever's sleeping just behind me and say, "Intruders."
So as this thing swings open, you see these kind of legs kind of come out, and then you see coming out and wrapping around and sticking to the ceiling a cockroach. It's about-
Cockroach. How big?
It's about 3 feet long,
Oh shit, a radroach.
probably
It's
a
a
good foot wide, and it has squeezed out of this vent. It drops to the floor, kind of roots around for a little bit, and then, assuming you don't do anything, it goes back to the wall, climbs up the wall, and goes back into the vent.
Right. I will make sure the other two are awake. Tell them there's 3-foot cockroaches in the vents in the ceiling. And has it closed the register?
Oh
Or
no.
is it still... Right. Okay. I will move down to the corner and look round to see whether there's still 2 people keeping an eye on us.
There's actually only one person there now, and they look kind of drowsy.
Okay, well, I will call down to them. Excuse me, I've just seen a 3-foot cockroach climb out of one of the vents in the ceiling. Were you aware that you'd got bugs here?
Oh yeah, we've seen them around. Don't worry about them. They're not a problem unless there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, well, if there's a bunch, it's a serious problem. Okay, have fun. And I shall return to my watch post.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all that happens of import for the rest of the evening.
Nice little.
Well, that's another good reason for Charlemagne to suggest that they leave this place. If there's one 3-foot cockroach, there's going to be hordes of 3-foot cockroaches.
So you sleep relatively well without your sleeping bags. You're able to maybe, find some comfort, maybe in a couch in the office or something like that. You're all able to get some sleep. You can regain 1 point of strain, or remove 1 point of system strain, and you can heal up to your level in hit points if you need to.
I don't think I'm down any.
Yeah, you might not be.
I don't think so.
No, I'm okay at the moment.
Yeah, I'm good.
I need to remove food from your people. So there's 10 people right now. That means we're down to 40 perishable.
Charlemagne does not have a lot of hit points for level 4 character at all. Not at all, by the way. Really not a lot. I forgot how few hit points he has.
Okay, so
level up in a good roll.
So yeah, it's morning. You've got the medication. I assume you want to talk to them again before you head out.
Again, yeah.
So sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Sorry. While Charlemagne's off doing that, I'll go and rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic in the waiting room. Okay.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, Charlemagne, as you head over there, there's somebody there. They call out to Kent, and Kent comes out. And you can see that they're all kind of like getting ready to move. Packs are slung, gear is packed up.
Oh.
Should we suggest the area that we found?
I'm gonna
like the other place?
No, because we're gonna try and get them to join the crew first. We'll take them back, if we can, take them back to the auto repair shop first, integrate them into the group, and then we can, as a larger group, take back over that farm again. I'm going to try to convince them. Well, it looks like you're ready to move on to somewhere new. What about if you were to come with us? There's more of us. We're trying to build a community, and a community needs people, and we're stronger together.
A community in this dead city?
Yeah, seriously.
We're trying to find a safer place to live. We're heading north.
We have a safer there is a safer place to live with us. We have an auto repair shop, and it's fortified and it's hidden, and we have refrigeration, and we have people, and we have food supplies, and we found another location where we're going to start a farm, but we just need more people to man the tools, and people to help us to survive together. We have a better chance together as humans, as people. And he's going to spit some Bible verse that Oliver doesn't know off the top of his head.
Sure. He's like, listen, Father, I'm sorry. Like, we don't want to live in this frozen wasteland. Like, we're heading towards the equator.
Okay, I mean...
Now, you can try and make a talk roll to try to convince him, but it's going to be pretty hard.
So the offer is there. I know the equator means warmth, but what is What is the warmth of the sun when you don't have the warmth of human kindness and kindred spirits and blah 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 blah. Wax lyrical, Bible verse, Bible verse.
Well, so I don't know if you've thought of this, but do you think it would be something long term that your group would also head north towards warmer climes?
Maybe eventually,
Possibly.
yes.
I mean, that might be a good idea.
Because we've heard that there's even a chance the sun may be seen up at the equator. So
Right.
Certainly Tim is in favour of heading to warmer climes.
So is Jacob.
Animal life and vegetation have more of a chance
But
if there's
yes, but
energy from the sun.
in the moment we have no vehicles, what we really need to take people is we need a proper caravan with vehicles. We're going to need vehicles, we're going to need fuel. To be properly protected, we're going to need vehicles. We can't walk from here to the equator, that's never going to happen. And while we gather vehicles and gather all the right equipment, we are better, stronger in numbers. The bigger numbers, the better. And I will try my best to convince these people. If I'll do the talk rule or whatever, I'm going to try and convince these people.
Well, wait. So are you going to frame it like that though? Like we're trying to put together a larger group so that we can put together, so that we can find vehicles, find fuel, put together a caravan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And rather than having to walk the whole way. Okay. So go ahead and make your talk roll.
Well, Tim will suggest that they can come with us back to the auto repair shop, and we can feed them tonight so they can see what we have,
and they can think
on
it.
They can think on it.
That sounds like an assist to me, David.
It does. Why don't you make a talk roll, untrained if you don't have it, plus charisma,
Yes.
to see if you can assist.
Okay.
That looks good to me, mate.
That's gonna be a plus. That's gonna be a +1 for Charlemagne.
Okay. Well, good job. I'm decent at
A
it.
needed +1. So it's not high enough, though.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, hang on. So I'm going to rack through my edges and focus. Do these help in this? You may or may not be good, but you're undeniably lucky. Once per game session as an instant action. When something bad happens to you, failed save or a botched skill check, test your luck and roll 1d6. On a 1, the bad event's unaffected. On a 2 to 5, you somehow avert the consequences by blind chance. And on a 6, actually lands on an enemy or rival. So I guess that's not relevant, is it?
I mean, it does say a botched skill check, which is not necessarily botched because there's no like critical failures, but it is a failed skill check.
Right, I'm going to roll again. Then.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you.
Still with +1?
Still +1, yeah.
Okay. Come on. There we go.
Oh, okay. Now that's a different matter. So Kent stops and he listens. And you're basically saying, hey, come check out what we've got going. Like, these are our long-term plans, but, like, better safety in numbers, right?
We've got, come check out our place, see if maybe you'd be better preparing for the journey north with us in a stronger, bigger community. There's space for all of you. We have food for all of you. Safety in numbers, my friends. Safety in numbers.
God, I can't believe you did this, because now you're going to make me have to make so many NPCs before the next session.
That's Charlemagne. You know, Jacob would have been like, keeping alliance and trade with him.
Yeah, you know Charlemagne.
No, it's fine. Like, the people were just here. You get to decide how to engage with people.
Yep.
So Kent says, he's like, we'll come to your place. We were leaving this place anyway. And we'll talk about it on the way there. Well, I'll talk amongst my people. He's like, do you have enough space for
we have enough space.
20 of us?
20 of you? Yeah, we have enough space for 20 of you. Now, we've got a sled with us. We can carry some of that stuff. You said there was too much here for you guys to carry. We can take more of it. We've got a sled. We've got some extra carry capacity.
He says, "Well, that'll certainly help us lighten our loads. We can put some of our supplies that we found on it. We were going to leave some stuff here."
No need to leave it. We've got some extra carry capacity with this sled of ours. Come, my friends.
So yeah, then you are able to convince them, and they're going to follow you back to
Plus 20.
the auto repair shop.
I would point out we're not going to be able to hide the tracks of 23 people.
No.
Right.
And a sled. A very laden
And the
down
sled.
sled.
I think the tracks of 23 people are going to hide the sled quite convincingly.
Possibly, aye.
I don't think they're well trained to follow each other's footsteps where you can just like step in the same impression that you got.
Why did I say 20 people? I could have said 10.
You could just say 10.
could.
Okay, so
half
Ken-
You can retcon it to 10 if you
You
wish.
can retcon it
No,
to 10.
it's-
Yeah, you
if
retcon
want,
it, and that's
Ryan.
fine.
No,
could
it's 20. There's
I
a lot
could-
of people.
I could even edit the video so you never say 20 if you really want.
No, it's 20 is perfect.
Okay.
Kent, 20 NPCs.
That for Charlemagne sees that as 20 wins. Charlemagne loves
I-
it when there's 20 of them.
I
They're
can see-
not necessarily gonna stay with you, but they're coming.
Right, I've got a chance. though.
Jacob would look over Tim as like, it's like I know Charlemagne so well, but I'm hoping he's not becoming a cult leader. I don't think we need one of those out here.
Well, I'm looking at this lot and thinking I'm going to have to lead a scavenging group to find food for everybody.
Right?
But think about how
Well,
many,
I mean-
if they stayed, how many scavenging groups we could have out in one day. We could have half a dozen groups out. This could be perfect.
We could have one group out with kind of a lot of people in it.
Yeah. Okay, so they're going to come back with you. It's because of the large group and people of varying ability, because there are, I'm not going to say final numbers yet, but there are a couple of elderly people and there are a couple of children in the group as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it's slow going. It's going to take you 2 shifts to get back.
Okay.
Are
That's
you
fine.
going to walk with the primary group, or are you going to be scouting to look for danger?
I think we take advantage of
I-
Tim's scouting abilities and have someone. And
I
have Tim
will
ahead.
scout to look for danger ahead.
I'll stay with the main
Okay.
group.
Because this group is vulnerable.
I'll stay with the main
Okay.
group reading passages from Exodus.
Okay, so you're able to return to the auto repair shop by evening and it still only took 2 shifts. I was going to have it be 1 shift to get back since you found your way there, but it's 2 shifts because you're slowed down again by then. But you get back, and you're able to return to the auto repair shop without incident. Upon your return, we do have to do 2 scavenging rolls for the group that went out
Mm-hmm.
to scavenge. So whoever wants to do that. How many people did you send out? 3? Well, let's go back to the auto repair shop. That's not
We
the right
said-
level.
Yeah, we sent
the
3
main. Yeah, the main. Yeah, you send out 3.
So 3 people. So you should still have scavenging the ruins. It'll be party size 3, injury 0, consecutive days 0 for the first roll.
Right. Do you want me to do one?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Go right ahead if you want to. He rolled a 20, so that might be a good thing.
I also rolled a 1.
He also rolled a 1, yeah.
But that's the first one, so the 1 and 20 kind of cancel each other out.
The party falls into an old drainage tunnel. Shit. No major injuries, but they lose time. They return with mouldy bread, 6 units of perishable, and wire mesh. Tech level 1 scrap, 5 units. Cold exposure causes -1 to scavenging rolls for 2 days.
Oof.
Okay. So the next roll is going to be -1 on injuries. Well, it'll be 3-1-1 for their scavenging
3-1-1.
today.
Yep.
Okay, somebody else get that. I'll do the additions to the sheet. So that was 6 perishable, wasn't it? Yep.
6 perishable, 5
And
tech 1.
5
So
tech
yeah,
1.
Max, go ahead and roll a scavenging.
All right, so
3-1-1.
so is it like this a -3?
No, it's
Oh,
party
okay.
size 3, injuries 1, consecutive days 1.
Okay.
3-1-1.
Okay.
Blinded by a whiteout. Scavengers waste hours navigating back. They return with half-eaten jerky, 4 units of perishable, and scorched circuit boards, tech level 1 scrap, 2 units. One follower suffers frostbite, causing -2 to scavenging rolls for 3 days. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 perishable and tech level 1, 2 units. Okay?
Not too great that time.
No. Could have been
Okay,
worse.
so yeah, on return, so you've increased the stuff. Now here's the problem. I'm going to determine what kind of supplies these NPCs have brought with them, so you don't have to worry about feeding them today.
Okay.
Okay.
But obviously, I don't have all that delineated out just yet. However, you do still have 10 camp followers that you need to feed for today. Well, 12 now, including yourself. And
just
since
do-
nobody else is carrying food,
So I'll
you'll have to deduct 12.
reduce 12 perishables. Okay, so that goes down to 38. And we've got the jobs. So the dog armor will be done.
Yep, dog armor's done.
Okay. And then have 2 bayonets would be done. Because it was 2 shifts.
No.
No?
One. Sorry, we need to change that. Tim's rifle is modded. It has a scope on it, and it has
No.
a
A
bayonet.
bayonet.
Right, so they've just done the 2 mods on the 1 gun with that day. Okay.
Yep. And now you're down 10 TL2 scrap.
Okay, I'll take that off. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and whatever
5,
the
6,
dog
7,
armor
8, 9,
cost.
10.
I think that was just 4
It was 4 tech levels.
TL1.
I think yeah.
Oh,
that was tech
0?
level
Okay,
0, I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
I think it was. So 1,
No, I
2,
think you're
3,
right.
4.
0's fine for that.
Right,
Yeah.
I've took those off. Was someone else taking them off? Have we just doubled it, or have we done that right?
No, it was at 20, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. So that's done. So we're still looking at 5 bayonets. That doesn't change to 4. That stays at 5 because we've done 1 bayonet and 1 scope, haven't we?
I
You
believe so.
you can plan on doing 5 if you want.
Yeah, well, there's 5.
I
There's
was just
5 more nights.
figured 6 shifts, so 5. Here, let's just say this. We'll just say 1 bayonet is 1 shift
Mhm.
with 1 worker and costs 5 TL2 scrap.
Okay.
Now, the bigger concern
Fallout.
is Fallout. So when you get back, Sophie runs over to Charlemagne, and she's in tears.
Oh no.
And she's like, he's dying. He's dying. I don't know what to do. I did the best that I could. And he is unconscious. His breath is extremely ragged. She tells you that she thinks he died, but she was able to bring him back for the moment.
Jacob, take Sophia away from here, comfort her, do something, and I'm gonna get the drugs to the dog. Gonna get the drugs that these guys gave us. Try and put it into some food or something to try and get him to take it.
Well, no, he's unconscious. So
Is
what
he
you're probably going to have to do is crush it up,
And put it in some water.
mix
Put it
it
in
with
water?
some water, and then try and get him to swallow the water.
So
That's
I'm
about
not going to
it,
make
right?
you make a roll to do that. You're able to get him to swallow the pills. But now somebody is going to have to make a save for him. Now, he's taken the drugs, so I'm going to let you roll twice if you fail the first one.
Okay.
But he has failed 3 saves.
So he's very ill.
I'm about to pull the
He's
trigger on
very
the
ill.
first one.
Ooh.
Roll it again!
Oh, someone else roll the next one.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Let me give me a chance.
I'm not killing him. I'm not killing him. Someone else roll the next one.
Shall I do it?
Alright,
'Cause
yes,
I'm
please.
cold-blooded and I love animals.
You're cold-blooded. You can kill him.
Go, I
That's
was saying,
fine.
I wish we could help him out. It's like,
Oh,
hey, you still have that one save. If he fails,
This is a new day as well, so you can
it's
use
a new
Charlemagne's
day.
ability.
Still got that,
I've still got my reroll. Plus, I've got a reroll for Dave now as well. Yes, Dave.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
He
that's
succeeded.
perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect. That's perfect.
So let's see.
Excellent.
Charlemagne, or not Charlemagne, Fallout. It's at. Okay.
So he's going to go back to very ill from terminal. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does wake up a little bit and kind of recognize you or like look at you, but like he's still very, very ill. Tim does not need to make a save. Craig does
Okay.
though.
Ooh. If I give Greg a pill, I'm like, here you go, bud.
Yeah, we're assuming that Craig is still. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is the first time he's taken the pill, so he gets to roll twice
Physical save, is
if
it?
need be. Yeah, physical save.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
No
Craig
rerolls required.
is nice. Okay. And he was kind of getting sniffly. Looked like he was getting a little sick, but he wasn't too far along. He only failed one save.
Good.
Alrighty then. So we've got all that. We've done our
I-
food.
I shall
Go
go
ahead.
up to the leader of the visiting group and thank him for giving us the medicine that saved Fallout. He's still very ill, but he was close to death.
You may have saved
So
his
thank you.
life.
That's good. I'm glad he's better. He says this garage is kind of small.
oh, there's a spot over
I
here.
think.
Like,
Yeah, he was like, I think I'll take my people out to the store area if you don't mind us being around your construction project.
Not at all.
We have enough food for us, I think, for a few days. We don't need to dip into your stores, but maybe we can talk more tomorrow.
Make yourselves at home. Make yourselves comfortable. What's ours is yours to share while you're here. You're our guests here.
So Kent, instead of shaking Charlemagne's hand, he
Pats him
puts
on the
his hand
shoulder.
on your he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Thank you. It's been a struggle." And you can tell that he's carrying the weight of leadership, much like Charlemagne does.
Look him in his eyes, and I put my hand on his shoulder. So we're like, he's got one there, I've got one there. I'm like, it's been a while since we've met good people out there. It's been bad thing after bad thing, and it's been so refreshing to meet you, Kent. You've really put some hope back in this old man's heart, and I'm going to try and guilt trip him into staying.
I'll nudge Craig and say,
yeah.
do you think you ought to kind of break out into a kind of uplifting song on your harmonica?
Yeah,
The
play
harmonica.
harmonica.
He's not got a
Okay, so
guitar.
tell you what, let's get to finish off our session today. Let's get another talk roll from Charlemagne
Okay.
in his continued attempt to get Kent and his group to stay.
Well, we can talk about the agricultural place that we found that, remembering now, has a tank of fuel, doesn't it?
Yep,
Yes, we start.
It sure does.
I got a 7, but I can re-roll that. It's a failed skill check. I'll use my re-roll again. Wait, that might be a once per session thing. Hang on.
Yeah, double check.
Yeah, it might be.
Survivor's Fortune. Once per game session.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't
Seven's
do that.
not the worst, though.
Yeah, 7's not terrible.
Okay. Do you want Craig to do a musician check to kind of like have a party or perform rather?
Yeah.
And
Because that can maybe
Okay.
maybe that gives me the +1 on the talk with some nice music in the background.
maybe.
Right, where's Craig?
Unless he's really bad tonight for some reason. He's not feeling
Oh,
great.
Come on, Craig, do me proud here. So it was it perform. Now I've got something. I've got a skill to do with perform. Let me just quickly remind myself. Spark of
Well,
brilliance.
yeah, isn't he a...
Specialist perform.
Yeah, so
3d6,
just roll
it's
perform
3d6 and drop the lowest when I do
plus
perform.
charisma. Yeah.
Okay. Perform charisma. Come on, Craig. 13.
Nice. So I think we'll finish this session with outside the auto repair shop. You can still see you've piled the snow up on to make the place look very well like snowed in, but there you left bits of the windows kind of visible at the top to let the sunlight in.
Yep.
But tonight, as these two groups come together, there's light beaming out of the auto repair shop, and voices are raised in introduction and interaction. Anyone nearby can smell the different foods being prepared and passed around.
I will help with the kind of sentry duty on the roof if we're giving out this much notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Above all that, you can hear the sounds of a harmonica and a voice raised in song. Possibly not as good as a guitar could be, but still quite entertaining, as some additional voices even attempt to join in and sing a song that perhaps they've heard before. And just a sense of community and camaraderie can almost be felt as the camera pulls away from this natural light and these natural sounds in the darkness of this never-ending snowstorm.
And a pair of eyes.
What a beautiful happy
carefully
end.
watch the surroundings.
Shut up, Dave. We're having a happy ending to this episode.
You gotta let me finish.
Yeah.
You gotta let me finish.
Chat alert.
Alright, watch. She's gonna ruin it. Watch.
And just
As it-
above everything, you can hear the low drone of something coming. Tires crunching on snow, engines rumbling, black smoke blotting out the moon.
Ooh.
I said I ought to be on the roof.
Get his new sniper rifle. Let's go.
Exactly.
So that's where
Yeah,
we'll...
I think
Jacob's
that's
up
where
there
we'll
with
end
you
for
and
today.
basically-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Jacob's up there just hanging out with you.
Okay, so we do XP, don't we?
So, you all get a point of experience for being here.
Okay.
You get a point of experience for exploring a location.
Okay.
And you get a point of experience for dealing with an encounter. Now, you didn't fight, but you did talk your way through it, and you handled the situation well against a potentially dangerous enemy. So,
Okay.
3 points of experience for everyone.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember. What is level 4? Is that 11 or is that 10?
Well, your sheet should tell you automatically when you get there.
Charlemagne is level 5.
It was like, ding!
Well done.
So what do I get at level 5, Brian?
Well, roll your hit
Ooh.
points.
Oh, right. Well, we're rolling 4d8? 5d8?
5d6
5d6.
plus any bonuses you have.
Constitution's 11.
No con.
No.
You're not hard to kill, so just 5d6.
Oh, that's good, though. 19.
19? That's not bad.
That's
That's
better-
a good jump for
It's
you.
better than the 12 I had before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's a big bonus.
Yeah, I mean 7 in one level. That's not bad.
And I instantly go up to the 19, don't I?
Yeah, you were at full health, so your health just goes up
Okay.
that amount.
So hit points are done.
You should have 3 more skill points to
Okay.
spend.
And I can spend them on... I've not put any stats up with Charlemagne yet, so it's only going to cost
Right.
me 1 point to do my
1
first stat
point.
increase. So I'm going to
Correct.
I'm going to put my wisdom up to 16.
Okay, you know that's not going to give you any additional bonus, right?
Well, it doesn't,
Or
does
is it?
No, 15 doesn't
Actually,
introduce the bonus.
16 might be the break point.
No.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Let's
think it
double
was max.
check.
It was like 16, right?
Oh no, so +1 is 14 to 17. 18 is the break point for the next
Right, okay.
ability bonus. But you can still go to 16. There's nothing wrong with that.
I still, yeah,
If you want.
I'm gonna increase my wisdom to 16, and
Okay.
I've got 2
Because it
points
helps with
left.
stress.
And then another increase would cost 2 points, wouldn't it?
It would. I don't think you can do 2 of those per level, though.
Per level, right? Okay, so I've got 2 points left.
Let me double check.
Right, to shoot from a 0 to a 1, how many is that? 2.
What level are you? 5?
Okay, I'm level 5 now.
So yeah, you could buy a second level attribute up if you wanted to.
How much is putting a 0 to a 1 on skills? How many points is that?
0 to 1 on skills is 2 skill points.
So I'll spend my last 2 putting my shoot from 0 up to 1.
Okay.
Use a good
And-
reload.
Yep. Now,
And at level 5, you also get an edge and a focus.
do I
don't
get an
you?
edge and a focus?
Believe so.
I think so.
That is correct.
Edge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your last edge, and you get a focus.
Let me have a quick look at the book then.
Oh, did they have any new edges or
What section's
focus
it in?
that came in with the?
No.
Okay.
No,
Skills.
he may have finished the one
No.
focus that deals with vehicles.
What section is it in?
Okay.
Character. Here we go. Edges. Right. I've got Beacon of Hope. I've got Comrade, and I've got Survivor's Fortune. What else is good? Veterans Luck's another
Road
good one.
Warrior might be new to you guys, but I doubt any of you want to buy Road Warrior as a focus.
I think I might just take Veterans Luck. It's just another reroll. It's another reroll to use, and I like
Just
it.
all rerolls
I like
for
the
Charlemagne.
Yeah, I like. The
Yeah, I mean, it
rerolls.
makes sense
But
for
what's
him.
mass?
Okay.
Well, that's also a reroll. The other one that like educated. Can I take that and put my? No, you can only do that at character creation, can't you? Educated.
No, you can. Well, I don't know. What does it say?
Educated. You may pick a bonus skill of
Don't
your
think.
choice. Whenever you gain skill points from character level advancement, you get a bonus skill point. Oh, no, it's Prodigy that makes you a skill 18. Pick an attribute other than Constitution, and its score becomes 18,
Yeah.
and it grants a +3 modifier. Right, could I just drop that on my Charisma then?
Yeah.
I want to take Prodigy on my Charisma then.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to move that over.
Oh, nice. A +3.
So I've added it, so that puts my Charisma up to 18. That gives me a +3 on the thing. That should automatically change to a 3, shouldn't it? It hasn't. Do I need to edit that to 3?
No, that's not automatic. You got to change that to a 3
Yeah,
yourself.
okay. So that's my edge done. Let's look at the foci. So I have got Diplomat and Healer. Oh, right. So I like level 2 for both of these. I'm going to take level 2 of Diplomat. So I'm going to put my level 1 Diplomat up to level 2. A new focus can.
No, interesting.
A new focus
Okay.
can be a point in a focus I've already got, can't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm
absolutely.
Going to put my Diplomat from level 1 to level 2 then, and that's my level
Yep.
up done.
Awesome. Nobody else leveled, so we're all good.
Nope.
Nope.
Yep, I don't level up probably for a little bit.
Sweet. So that was
Is
it.
level
Yeah,
5
you're
the
not
top
too
level?
far away for Jacob.
Yeah.
What was that?
Sorry, is level 5 the top level?
No 10.
No, 10.
So how many points do you need for level 6?
Probably a bit.
Level 6.
I'm on 18 with Charlemagne. What's Tim got?
Let's see.
23.
Oh, check you out.
Yeah, you're getting close, I think, to level 6. Where's the advance?
Well, I
Yeah, but we've been playing multiple.
I tried increasing my experience up to 33, and it was still showing as level 5.
Oh, really? Hang on, let me check. I'm checking. Why did I just lose advancement? I was just there. Pharmaceuticals? No, before that.
I'm up to 49, and it's still showing level 5.
Well, now click somewhere else on your sheet. That still didn't update?
Yes, it went up to 6.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's not going to change while you're pushing up and down, but once you click someplace else, it'll update. So go back to whatever you were on. But as far as... I don't know why I can't
I need
find
27.
in here.
Needs
Is it
27
27?
for level 27 for level
Yep.
6.
Yeah, that sounds right. Backgrounds.
But I'm happy with my 23.
Oh, here it is. Character advancement. Okay, so we are... Are you kidding me? Did I just lose it again? I literally just clicked on it. What happened? Okay, so we're doing fast leveling.
Yes.
So, yeah, Jacob's almost there. 12 for level 4, 18 for level 5, 27 for 6, 39 for 7, 54 for 8, 72 for 9, and 93 for 10. We might go slow leveling when we go to Gamma World.
That's fine with me. I mean, it'd be different type of stuff with mutations and all kinds of effects you have.
Yeah, getting into the mutations, I think you guys are really going to get a kick out of when we switch to... We might even just keep it the same setting, just shift it like 500 years into the future.
That'd be cool. Same setting, but 500
cool.
years later, that could be cool.
I'm not looking forward to meeting cows there.
Imagine. Right.
Super Brahmin.
There will definitely be a lot more mutated creatures that you don't have to worry about stress with. Yeah.
Any more paperwork to do, or are we good to wrap it up?
No, I think that's it.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all good. I just got stuff to do for next session now. Thank you very much. But
Thank you for another fantastic session.
We can blame Charlemagne on that one.
Thank you for another fantastic session, Brian and Max. And David, thanks again, gentlemen. I'll see you at the weekend, Max, and I'll see you on Tuesday, David.
Okay.
The wonderful viewers, thank you very much for watching. This was session 14. See you in 2 weeks for session 15. I'm RxOliver. This is the gang. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.